welcome to another 3D character modeling in Blender, and I'm going to be showing us how to model a simple character from start to finish. So now let's proceed on how to sculpt this character. So first, we're going to hover our mouse to this point where we can see this plus sign. We're going to click on that plus sign and drag our screen to split our screen into two. So now we have the front view and we have our right view. So in this my front view area, I'm going to click on 1 for my front view, and in the next area I'm going to click on 3 for my right orthographic view. So I'm going to delete this cube now. So what I will do next is to say Shift A on my keyboard, Shift A on my keyboard. I'm going to select the image and select reference to bring in my image reference. So this opens my file explorer. I'm going to select document where my folder is being saved. I'm going to go to 3D models where my project folder is. I'm going to click at linear projects. I'm going to select that folder. I'm going to select the reference also and say load reference. So this loads my reference in my front view, and I'm going to select this reference and push this reference backward in the y-axis. So we're going to move this reference backward in the y-axis. Try to orbit your screen and move this reference backward in the y-axis. So we're going to do the same thing for the right orthographic view also too. So just try and move it backwards. So now we're going to do Shift A in the right view. So Shift A in the right view, click on image, select reference, select your reference, and you load the reference. So in this time around, we're going to move this right reference at the x-axis backwards. So we're going to move it backward at the x-axis. Again, on the front view reference, we move backward at the y-axis, while the right view backward at the x-axis. Alright, so now let's select this object data properties here by your right corner. So now let's toggle on transparent. We're going to select this front view this time around, and we're going to make this reference to be at the center of this z-axis. So move, you can say z and x to move to ensure that your character reference is aligned at the center of this blue line here. So let it be at the center of it. So ensure it's at the center. Alright, if you are done with that, we're going to hover our mouse to where we see filters. We're going to click on filters also too. So I'm going to go to filters. So just ensure that everything is well properly placed. This side also too, you place it properly well also too. And okay, we are good to go. So now let's go to filters. We'll click on filters. Filters is by the right top. Yes, filters. Then select selectables, and we deselect all this. We uncheck them, so we will not be able to select this reference again. That means we just freeze this whole reference. Alright, so now let's say Shift A on our keyboard. Now let's go to mesh and let's bring in a cube. We're going to scale this cube, move this cube upwards, and we're going to do Ctrl 2. Okay, let's scale for a bit. Then let's say Ctrl 2 on our keyboard for subdivision level of 2. Okay, you can also add the modifier using the modifier panel. So let's scale this a little bit. Scale and move this upward a little bit. Okay, yes, so S to scale on our keyboard. Let's just follow our character's reference also. Okay, now let's click on subdivision modifier and let's apply that. So let's just apply that, and we toggle on overlay with check on wireframe. Do the same thing for your front view and your right view. Now we can go to sculpting now, and we begin to sculpt our 3D character also too. So what we'll do next, we're going to click on this X that is up there. So we're going to click and drag this panel so we can see the names of our brush. Alright, so now we're going to toggle on our wireframe here also too. F on your keyboard is to increase the radius of your brush. F to increase the radius, G to grab. So that's the shortcut key for grab. So G to grab. So now let's just increase the radius a little bit, and we can also increase the strength upwards there. We can increase the strength, and now we can start adjusting our character reference, sculpting the character reference, sculpting the cube following our character reference. Alright, so we can just do that in a bit. Alright, so just move this, move this. Just push, just following our character reference. So I will suggest you have to be patient with yourself while doing this. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to rush the process. So just easy. Just follow your character reference. I think this is very basic. Also in the front view also too. You can adjust them also too. Alright, so we can do some adjustments in the head area. and we click layout. So now we do shift A again. Now we want to create the ear. So I think I normally do this also to control 2, also to add subdivision level surface of 2. We're going to scale this to this point. We're going to apply this, and we're going to scale this on the y-axis. So in our right view, we say S and Y to scale in the y-axis. We say arrow and Z to rotate in the z-axis. So arrow and Z to rotate in the z-axis. S and Y to scale in the y-axis. Alright, so we're going to push this inward. Let's just rotate a little bit also. Alright, push this inward, following your character reference. So these are just the building block of this sculpting of this character face. These are just the basic building block, and if you follow this process, you'll be able to sculpt a very good character. Alright, so let's just go back to sculpt mode and let's adjust our mesh following our character reference. Alright, I think this is pretty good now. This is looking good. Let's just move this. In our right view, most times you might not have the perfect reference, but you can just make some adjustments and see how things work for you. So I'm going to drop this reference for us also to make use of. Alright, so we're almost done with the sculpting. We click on layout again, select this. I'm going to add modifier. We're going to add what we call a mirror modifier. Select this pick tool and click on your character's face, and we're going to have two ears now. So we're going to apply that modifier. I'm going to apply the modifier. So let's just copy this a little bit first before we apply that modifier. Alright, I think you're good to go. You're good to go. Alright, so just keep on tweaking, keep on tweaking, adjusting, and let's apply the modifier. So we have to apply the modifier. Alright, so now what we'll do next, you can right click and say shade smooth also too. Right click and say shade smooth. Alright, let's do shift A again. We want to add the nose to it, so control 2. Subdivision level surface of 2 also 2. Let's move this forward, so just see the same process, applies it. Once you have do the subdivision surface level of 2, you apply, and you go to your sculpt mode also too, and you sculpt the character nose following your character reference. Do well to follow character reference so you can see how this thing looks like. I think this is better. I think if you can do this like once you can sculpt to do the practice 2 times or 3 times, you might get used to it and it becomes better. So let's just follow our character reference and sculpt the nose properly. Alright, most times you don't have to be perfect when doing things like this. Just just be free. Just you can just free yourself and just you can play around, be creative with the nose, be creative with the eyes, be creative with the ears, be creative with every part of the body of the character face. So the main thing is just ensure that you are following the character reference. You just know the principles and the basic principles. I think that's it. So I don't think this is very difficult. Something that anybody can try, practice. So you can keep adjusting. If you feel like, and keep adjusting until you get it right. All right. Let's see what's happening here now. All right. Let's see what's happening. I think we are good to go. Let's see layout. Let's push the nose forward a little bit. All right, now so we are going to bring in our character neck. So let's say shift A, click on cylinder. We say control 2, subdivision level surface of 2. You can say tab for edit mode also too. You should know how to do this already. So control arrow to add one loop cut, control arrow to add another loop cut down. We say SA to select all, S to scale on the z-axis on just following our character reference. Then in your right view, we're going to rotate this our character neck in the right view. Just rotate it a little bit also too. So just ensure that you are following your character reference also. So let's scale this S to scale. Move this. Alright, so this is nice now. I think following our character reference. So that's the basic thing to do. Ensure you follow a reference. So we're going to join all these mesh together. We're going to join all this mesh. So we're going to select all of this mesh and join them together before we start remeshing. So we're going to apply this. All right, we're going to apply this first. Then we're going to select the ear, select the nose and the character head, and we're going to say Ctrl J on our keyboard. So Ctrl J helps you to join your whole mesh together. So we've come to the end of this character. So now we can save. Ctrl S to save. Please do where to save. Ctrl S, give it a project name, so your Blender doesn't shut down and you lost your whole effort. So now we've come to the end of this 3D sculpting or 3D character sculpting. Please do where to subscribe, do where to like, do where to share, do where to follow, make comments, ask questions. Thank you very much.